I've got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
We're in the heart of the Midwest, near the Great Lakes region, Joliet, Illinois, for tonight's venue. Race number 4 from the Chase for the Cup, season number 3. Live from the virtual Chicagoland Speedway, it's QSR, Chase for the Cup. Presented here tonight by Dark Ace Digital. It's the Dark Ace Digital 180. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper. I'll be with all season long here on V-Speed. Track temperature out here today. We can take a quick look at that. I know we usually gloss over some of these details in the early going. 91 degrees track temperature here tonight. Air temperature at 72, so this track should stay good and greasy. It might get above 100 once they get to racing on it. A quick look here at the venue that we're coming to. Our track map on the screen. Chicagoland Speedway opened July 1st back in 2001. Kind of the sister track to Kansas Speedway. Very similar racetracks. However, the backstretch is curved here and banked a little bit more than Kansas. Sweeping corners, the car combo here tonight. I look to see some multi-groove. Excellent racing with 18 degrees of banking in the turns. There's many ways to get in and out of these corners and get a good run down the front stretch to make that last lap pass. So I'm excited here. It's one of my favorite tracks on the service. Race analysis coming up on your screen. 120 laps here today. Of course, we're going to run 5 tire sets available. Fuel at 100%. And our stage caution at lap 30 tonight. This is a quick look at the points. This is actually as of a week ago before we had our final results at Iowa. So Alan Dobbs was the leader, but I believe that has tightened up a little bit with Jesse Gordon actually having Ryan Philbrick and a few others that had better races. So we'll have to get a look at those points and get those updated for you. But as of right now, Alan Dobbs still going to be the leader based off of the statistics we had. Just such a big points gap coming into Chicagoland. I don't foresee him losing that lead. But with that, let's take you trackside and get that grid up on your screen, starting on the pole here tonight. A 30.291 here for Daniel Molnex in the number 38. He will start on the inside of your points leader, Alan Dobbs, in the number 22. Chuck Sweeting will start in the 3rd position with Quentin Stewart, QSR's CEO, and the number 24 starting in 4th. And then row number 3 goes to Trenton Wilkin with Wyatt Walker in the 6th spot. Lonnie Joyner in the 00 will start in 7th position. Christian Ruck Regal will start in 8th. Joyner getting a top 3 there last week, declining the interview, so hopefully we get him up here in the booth tonight. Gerald Sensenbaugh is going to start in the 9th position, and rounding out row number 5 in that top 10, Tyler Autry in the number 2. Austin Thomas and Bryson Witherspoon side by side in row number 6, and row number 7, Waylon Turner, Steve Mago in the 83. Row number 8, Brandon Yates, Austin Dowdy in the 8 will start in 16th. 17th position, Ace Dillard, Ethan Wisnowski is going to be row number 9. 21 car field, 2 cars electing not to grid and electing not to take a time. Brent Allen and Larry Eddy are 19th and 20th in the final car. Mike Petrin in the number 60 did not make the grid here tonight. So that brings us around for pacing, and we get set up to go. 130 laps here today. Working out some details here with the points. 120 laps, rather. Hopefully no overtime. I know last week things got a little bit heated in the final moments of the race. We ended up having a couple of those late cautions. Put us in a situation, kind of affected the outcome. But ultimately, you know, tire strategy, fuel strategy, we've seen it all here so far this season. But for the 4th time in Season 3, we're going to go green flag racing live in Chicagoland. Flag is out already. The 12 of Trenton Wilkin, the 13, several cars involved. Ace Dillard, Austin Dowdy, loose into turn 1, and we made it about 1,500 feet. Rough start. Looks like the 12 might get a little loose here in the entry of 1. He does, snaps it free. Ronnie Joyner involved in this as well. 35 across those of Austin Thomas, and man, that's what happens when you start these races out so close together. Oh, there was caution caused by contact between the 12 and the 33. Christian Rockregal. Go one more time here for the blip camera. Not sure if it's caused by Rockregal coming down or if the 12 comes up, but they're almost 3 wide into turn 1. Go one more time here on the gyro camera. And so with our first caution coming this early, it gives us an opportunity to maybe pull up a driver up into the broadcast booth. And so I'm kind of interested to talk to Trenton Wilkin here. Unfortunately, Wilkin not available in the Discord. So we'll bring Christian Rockregal up into the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Oh, it's going. We just witnessed a little contact there. What was it from your perspective?
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of hoping that I didn't cause all of that, but I know that I was kind of checking up on the high side here, and I kind of got caught in the middle, and then I saw the car on the inside of me come up. But I hope I didn't come down on him or anything. But I don't know what happened behind me because I don't know, man.
We saw a little contact there. You were 3 wide. It looked like the 85 maybe not getting it going quite as well on the start there, but you stuck the nose there in 3 wide. Wilkin on the bottom. It kind of looked like you both met at the center point there. Very close, hard to tell. But as far as the start of this race goes, is it difficult to get this car to launch?
Not really. You just gotta not put the pedal down all the way. Just gotta ease into it, and it just comes right up to you. But that's my thought, anyways. At least on new tires. Once they get used, it's a different story.
Well, we're sitting here with 120 laps today, and we've only completed about 1,000 feet up to speed, so we have plenty of time to get those tires heated up. Christian, anybody you'd like to shout out while we have you up here?
You know, today I don't think there's anybody I need to shout out. I'm just gonna keep my head down.
Well, thank you for your time. And yeah, I think it was Turn 1 Tsunamis, I believe it's the...
Yes, sir. You got it.
That's perfect.
Living up to the name, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christian Ruckriegel, didn't mean to cut him off there, but we are getting doubled back up, getting ready to go back green. Daniel Molnex is going to get 5 laps led now for free. We'll see if he can hold off Alan Dobbs. I know that there was a little heat last week at Iowa between these two drivers. Dobbs not very happy with how Molnex was racing him. Made some comments on track about that, and of course, post-race, Sparks guys got into each other a couple different times in that race. And here they find themselves in week 4 right next to each other again. Let's try it one more time and unleash 900 horsepower onto this racetrack. Green flag is out into the restart zone. Molnex on the loud pedal. Here we go from Chicagoland. And leading lap number 1, it will be Daniel Molnex. But off to a little bit of a rough start there for the rest of this field. You can see Quentin Stewart inside Chuck Sweeting, outside Chuck Sweeting rather. He will get away with that pass and move his way up to 3rd. You can see the multi-groove on this scenario. Makes for passes on the outside a little bit easier. But you can later in the run pinch a guy down and find out a way around on the exit, or even dive to the inside and run him up the racetrack. There's 1,001 ways to pass here at Chicagoland. There's no wrong way. It's just a matter of what is the right way in the last lap to lead that and get that checkered flag. Outside of that, we've got the lead pulling away just a little bit here. Dobbs has pulled out with Daniel Molnex. They're matching each other's lap times. Last time by, Dobbs about 4 or 5 100ths of a second faster than Molnex. They're side by side again here for the 3rd spot, though. Chuck Sweeting's going to take that position back from Quentin Stewart. He's going to try anyway on the outside for the 24. He will hold on to 3rd. Almost there across the line. Gonna hold his ground into the entry of 1 way up the racetrack. Going to get a big run down the backstretch and continuing defense. Sweeting said, I'll go to the outside. Gets a little bit loose there. And the back and forth for third continues. They are chasing down Molnex and Dobbs in the process. Now the 85 of Wyatt Walker brings himself into the mix. Looking to maybe pick up a couple spots. He's got the leaders within sight. About half a second separate first through fifth position, and then it's back to the number 2 of Tyler Autry. He's 1.8 back from this grouping, and the lead battle all over the place. Sweeting looked to the outside of Dobbs there briefly. Now Stewart back on offense for third. Checking in back here with Ronnie Joyner, who was a part of that first race caution. Had a little damage on the nose there briefly. Looks like he's since gotten that repaired. Or looks like it's back up to speed for the most part. But hopefully he can turn this day around. With a rough start here at Chicagoland in week 4. Joyner knows that he wants to get back up there. Go working on the back end of Bryson Witherspoon. This is for the 12th position. These drivers have fallen back. Oh, car in the wall just ahead of them there. That's the 30 of Waylon Turner into the wall here. Back on the instant replay and see. Looks like he got a hold of the wall in the entry of 1. Got a clip on that safer barrier. So sometimes you can misjudge the entries of these corners, end up with some heavy right front damage in the 30 car. Gonna have to ride this one out. Probably not gonna be able to get any of that repaired if we stay green. They'll fall back to 14th position. Top 5, they've spread back out a little bit, but not by much. Wyatt Walker looking inside of Quentin Stewart for the 4th position. Walker has been side by side with Stewart a couple different times. But Daniel Molnex has held on to the lead as they try some bottom, some top, wherever you got to go to try to get a run here. So we have an opportunity. There is one car that's resting on pit road right now. Austin Dowdy, you're up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Hey, what's up?
Well, I'm going to have to crank you up a little bit here. It looks like I lost a lot of audio unless you got to bump that mic up for me.
My bad. I'm here.
All right, so you had some problems at the very start of this race. You're down on pit road getting damage repaired, but what did it look like from your perspective there on that caution?
Oh, I mean, there was just cars everywhere, and I had, like, nowhere to go. So I just kind of, like, locked it up and rolled and just kind of rolled through it and took what I got, you know?
We were going into turn 1. We made it about 1,000 feet past the line there, and it looked like contact between the 12 and the 33. Any take on that? As we we do have admins out there that pay attention to that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a great look. It's just not good at all. I mean, it's lap 1, and we got 120 laps here, right? So, I mean, it's just... it's just turn one, you know, and everybody's trying to race hard right off the rip, you know. It's just kind of unfortunate, really, because we can't even get up to speed and do anything, make any moves or anything else. So we just get wrecked out turn one. So.
Yeah, it's a rough start here, but we've since went clean and green. Unfortunately for you, we went clean and green because that machine probably had over 10 minutes of repair to do.
Yeah, I'm about to go out there now. So.
All righty, well, we thank you for your time there, Austin, and maybe we'll get you back out there, back in. I don't pray for enough cautions to get you back in the lead lap, but maybe that'll happen.
Yeah, I do not pray for enough cautions, but we'll see how it goes from here on out.
All right, man. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you. See ya.
It was Austin Dowdy in the number 8 coming back out on the racetrack. It's currently being scored 19 laps down, but, you know, there is the chance for attrition. And Dowdy come back out here and gain some positions with Wilkin and Austin Thomas being out of the race. He does stand to gain 2 spots here within the next lap. So the situation of staying out and staying in this session, that's what you got to do to maintain and try to keep the points going for the season. Checking back in with this top 5 battle. It is spread out tremendously compared to where it was earlier. Quentin Stewart has gotten back around, but there's a battle for the lead here. The 22 makes contact with the 38. Dobbs into the door. Molnix picking up right where they left off at Iowa. And right there out of turn 2, both of them sideways. The 38 prevails on the high line. And Alan Dobbs has to go back to the drawing board. Another peek to the inside there. Into turn 1, you can see the 22 of Dobbs a little bit faster through the middle of the corner. He's going to get right up on the bumper of Molnix here. Playing that 22 just a lane or a half a lane lower to keep the downforce on the front end. He's going to get right back up there again for another attempt. Putting the pressure on the 38 in the entry of 1. He loses the nose a little bit there. Didn't have quite as low of an entry that he needed into 3. Almost got into the outside wall. Check back here with Sweeting, who's chased back down Quentin Stewart. He's having a top 3 day right now. Hasn't made any mistakes yet and continues on. On lap 26. Autry in the number 2. Started back in 10th position. He's up to 6, gained 4 spots. Biggest mover in the top 10, though, is Brent Allen in the number 13. He's gained 11 spots after starting in 19th. I believe we just lost camera with the 13. I was going to try to get that up there. Chuck Sweeting looked back to the inside and 1 and 2 for the 3rd position. Stewart held on to it again. Just looks like the high line is starting to prevail as this run progresses. So the spread here between the top 5 of Daniel Molnex, Alan Dobbs. Here's the lead battle of about 0.2 of a second. Molnex is now starting to pull away. And your position battle. Get back here to third spot. Quentin Stewart playing defense against Chuck Sweeting. They are 1.7 seconds back from the lead. And only a few hundredths of a second separate these two each time they go into the corner. See, Sweeting gets back up on the back bumper again. Just not able to complete the pass. Then it's back. Another second and a half to Wyatt Walker. Currently in the 5th spot. Ronnie Joyner has worked his way up to 6 on the offensive. Recovering from that lap 1, turn 1 caution. And here we go for the stage. Looks like Daniel Molnex is going to get it. Top 10 awarded points with Molnex, Dobbs, Stewart, Sweeting, Walker, Joyner, Autry, Allen, Ruckriegel, and Steve McGough on that top 10. So here on lap 30, the strategy comes out to play. Would expect to see all of these cars come down pit road for 4 fresh tires and Sunoco race fuel. Molnex will be leading them in for our first round of scheduled pit stops. So Alan Dobbs not able to pass on the racetrack. Can he pass on pit road? Does anybody back behind these two have anything for him? Would expect exactly 4 tires for everyone here. I don't expect to see any strategy calls with tires. Chicagoland not very forgiving on all 4 corners of these machines, so right sides go up on pretty much everyone guaranteed. And now the left sides go up on the 38. Looks like simultaneous for the 22 and the 38 of Molnex. Down and away. Molnex will hold on to the lead. And the top 5 almost stays the same. Ronnie Joyner is going to get by Wyatt Walker. Some damage repairs for some of these cars. Looked like Autry stayed in a little bit longer to get some of that repaired. There we go. Daniel Molnex will maintain the lead after starting on the pole here today. We'll go back green flag racing in just a couple laps. Don't go anywhere. We've got more coverage to continue. You're watching the Dark Ace Digital 180 from Chicagoland here on V-Speed.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
You're live from Chicagoland. Pole Award, stage winner, race leader Daniel Molnick's gonna restart here from the front. Alan Dobbs, Chuck Sweeting, Quentin Stewart, and Wyatt Walker. As we go into turn one, actually Ronnie Joyner there on the inside. Green flag back out. Molnick gets a great start here. Quentin Stewart loses the position to Sweeting and now has the 0-0 very loose off of turn two for Ronnie Joyner. Opens the door for Wyatt Walker into the top five. Side by side for the lead, just in front of him here. They come out of turn four. Molnick's gonna hold on to that lap lead by 1/100th of a second. But it looks like Dobbs gonna take over the spot briefly here in the, gets loose, tags the apron into two. 38 in the wall, the 22's around. Stewart able to miss it, and he'll take over the lead, Sweeting into the back of the 38. Chuck Sweeting heavily damaged there. He gets the worst end of all of it. And how about Quentin Stewart to miss that accident? And the 85 of Steve McGo, or not Steve McGo, Wyatt Walker to slip through that as well at the last second. But unfortunately, it looks like the 22 maybe tags the apron. We'll go on board here with the 85. Looks like the 22 up there just touches the apron. And I'm not sure if Netcode maybe got the 38 up or if he saw, wow, just touched there. That could have been a lot worse for the 85. Need to watch that one more time here from the blimp camera. Watch right here out of the exit. Just touched a little bit there. What a save. We'll go back here and watch the 22 on board with him. Yeah, gets a little loose down there on the bottom. I don't think there was any contact between him and the 38, but the 38 does go up into the wall. And Chuck Sweeting just nowhere to go. And that brings out our second official caution of the day. Quentin Stewart will take over the point. And the 38 and the 22 that have been battling for the lead while Quentin Stewart was riding third position most of this day are now out of the picture for the moment. The 38 and the 22 aren't going to be a situation. This means Quentin Stewart could most definitely lead some laps here and maybe even come home with this victory. He's shown the speed. He's been the third fastest car. He was battling with Chuck Sweeting there. Chuck Sweeting out of this race now with that terminal damage on the 75, so Stewart just kind of has to run his own line. Quinn Stewart, Bradley Cooper in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you, man.
Well, Quentin, quick turn of events there. I know that that's not how you wanted to take the lead, but now you're in a situation where the guy that was battling you is out of this thing. The two that were in front of you have taken each other out, and now you're in a situation where you could run away with this thing.
Yeah, we're hoping that'll be the case. You know, I hate to see two good cars get taken out like that. Unfortunate, you know, when you're racing from a lead like that, especially with the top lane, everybody was battling for that. Molnix gets in the wall, comes down on Dobbs. Unfortunate racing incident, but it's that's just part of racing from a lead sometimes. Hate to see it, but
we're sitting here with about well, my math is about 80 laps to go here. We know you're on 100% fuel. We can make this in one stop, correct?
Pretty close. Got about 31 laps to a tank, so probably 2 more stops here.
All right, Quentin. Well, we're doubling back up. You got Wyatt Walker, Brent Allen side view and behind you. So good luck out there, and maybe we'll get to talk to you post-race or victory lane.
Hopefully, man. Thanks so much.
Quentin Stewart in the number 24. He'll be the command car on this restart. But here we go. A little shake up here. The 38 of Molnix back out. Alan Dobbs back out there. Those cars look a little bit cleaner than they did a moment ago. Molnix still has a little bit of damage there, I think, on the left rear, or right rear rather. But I think we're going to be okay as the pace car pulls off. Let's go back. Green flag racing for the 3rd time today. Great launch here with Stewart into turn 1. But he has the 13 of Brent Allen peeking to the inside. They're going to look 3 wide through 1 and 2. 85 in the middle, very loose there off the corner. And he'll lose a spot to Brent Allen. Now they're looking 3 wide again for the 3rd spot. With Tyler Autry, he's up into the top 5 now. Very close side by side, right in front of him though. The 30 of Waylon Turner trying to take away the 3rd spot, and Brent Allen will take over the lead but gets loose down on the bottom. Looks like Stewart gonna get the advantage going into turn 3. Almost led a lap there. Now it's Wyatt Walker back on the offense. The top 4 right on top of each other as Tyler Autry sees an opportunity. And Allen gets really loose down there on the bottom. He's going to lose 2 spots there, all within a corner. This allows Quentin Stewart down the backstretch, home free. He's going to look to try to run away with it. Has been very competitive, especially at the start of the run. The 24 gets loose. Here comes Wyatt Walker to possibly lead his first lap of the day. Into 3 and 4, entry on the high line. We'll take it over here on lap 45. Lap led now for the 85. So this is the first time laps led for some of these guys this season. And know it's still young and then we're early into this, but, you know, the situation has been Alan Dobbs and 38 of Daniel Molnex. I mean, those two have been dominant everywhere that we went so far. You can see the 22 with still a little bit of right front damage, trying to work his way back towards this front spot. He's back up to 5th position. He restarted about 9th. Slowly works his way up there. Ronnie Joyner just behind him gets a little bit loose in the entry of 1. That allowed Waylon Turner to the back bumper. Down the back stretch, Brent Allen on the outside of the 22. This is for 4th. Wow, the 24 really close to that wall there on the exit. Using every inch of this racetrack. Board with the 24 of Stewart. Last time by, about 3/100ths of a second. They've matched lap times between the 85 and Wyatt Walker. So no ground being made up. 0.3 of a second separate. Through 3 and 4, a little bit slower this time. Ends up in a situation, the 30 gets to the inside. Now Brent Allen falls back to 7th. Waylon Turner down to the bottom, trying to get by the 22. Both these cars have damage, but this for the top 5. Dobbs gonna clear off of 4. And how about Tyler Autry to the outside for 2nd here into 1. Very close racing off of turn 2. And Autry will take it over. And for Stewart right now, he had that race pace to be in 3rd position. Looks like he's going to find himself there again. This all while Wyatt Walker continues to lead 6 laps in a row now for the 85. But he's about to have some company. The accordion effect of the top 4 happens again, just like we saw in the previous green flag run. In the first 30 laps, about 25 laps there under green. Stewart on the outside of Walker. Autry takes over the point. Mistake there for Walker as he came out of turn 2. He's going to allow 2 cars to get by on the outside here in 3 and 4. So now a lap left for this guy. After starting in 10, the 2 of Autry. How about this in the middle back here? 22 and the 30 going out at hard. The 30 into the wall. Waylon Turner all the way up to the outside. He crushed the wall in the entry at 3 down the backstretch. Loses a ton of ground to Dobbs. See here for Dobbs that damage affecting that car down the straightaway just a little bit here. Just enough that he can't carry the speed off the corners. He's getting good runs in the middle. And as soon as they start down a straightaway, he loses all of that time. So he's going to work extra hard to even gain a position. Side by side for 2nd now. The 00 of Ronnie Joyner. He's going to try his hand at maybe leading this race. Identical lap times from the top 4, 31.733 for Autry. Weather back up on the screen. It's come down a little bit. Started the race at 91 degrees. Its track temp has fallen to 89 now. Air temperature up 1 degree, so... Man, Ronnie Joyner is working hard to try to get around Quentin Stewart here off of turn 4. It's all happening in the mirror of Tyler Autry, but not able to pull away. Backs up the entry to the corner a little bit here. Gets a little bit loose right in front of Stewart. And he falls down. It looks like Stewart going to take the lead back over. Ronnie Joyner trying to clear here off of turn 4. Not going to be able to do it. Stewart will lead this time around. The battle for the lead continues. We've had 5 different lead changes just in the last 20 laps. Walker on the outside now trying to get by Joyner, but Joyner holding his own. I mean, down there on the inside, it looks difficult. And Walker gets into the wall. Really nobody behind him. So he's able to hold on to it. We've seen that 85 have some close calls several times here today. Autry, after that little mistake in giving up the lead, he now finds himself side by side just for the 5th position. But Dobbs in the 30th round. Waylon Turner brings out a caution here. He's going to keep it off the racing surface. But heavy contact there with, I believe, still trying to get this thing back going. I believe it was the 38 of Molnix, but the 30 came down across his nose here. On board with Waylon Turner. You see that little check up there with Dobbs getting a little loose out of turn 2, and looked like Turner was going to try to go to the inside. Unfortunately, not clear down that back straightaway. This brings out another yellow here today at Chicagoland. 4 tire sets available here. Looks like we're going to use that second of those sets. Stewart will maintain the lead. Joyner just behind him, and now looks like the 13 of Brent Allen. I think Ronnie Joyner was 3rd there on the exit of pit road. He was. I missed that there. Actually, Waylon Turner is out here on the racetrack. Looks like he's going to get an EOL penalty. So Quentin Stewart will have the lead again here on this restart. He has new competition with Ronnie Joyner, Brent Allen, the top 3. You're watching the Dark Ace Digital 180 from Chicagoland and the QSR chase for the cup on V-Speed. More coverage will continue right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. both go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
They're live from Chicagoland, race number 4, the QSR Chase for the Cup. Quentin Stewart, QSR CEO, is the leader. Full cautions here tonight. Stage winner Daniel Molnick's back in the 12th position after contact with the outside wall, coming across the nose of Alan Dobbs and Chuck Sweeting, Austin Dowdy, Ethan Wisnowski, Harold Sensenbaugh, and Trenton Wilkin all out of the event here tonight. But let's go back. Green flag racing here from Chicagoland. 4 fresh tires on all these machines into turn 1. Stewart gets an excellent start here, but already on a challenge from the 00. Ronnie Joyner going to try to lead his first laps of the day. Down here on the bottom in 3 and 4, it looks like he will prevail. How about Ronnie Joyner? 00 leads a lap. Alan Dobbs sideways, the 83's around. And the race continues to fall apart for your points leader. Heavy, heavy damage for the 22. And Brandon Yates here on the outside. Doesn't look like he was the factor here. Then the 83 of Steve Mago gets loose here in the entry of 2. And the 22 goes around. With Brandon Yates. Well, this shakeup changes everything all over again. Another caution here. 5 cautions for those official, 7 lead changes. And Ronnie Joyner is now your leader. As we kind of hit that window, it's about 30, I believe it was 35 laps on the tank, or 31 laps there. Like Quentin Stewart quoted. Seems a little bit shorter than I expected. However, on that high line, probably burning a little bit more fuel for the 24. This gives us a chance, though. Pull up your race leader. Ronnie Joyner, Bradley Cooper in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Gotcha, Bradley.
It's looking a little difficult out there today. We've had several cars get loose, especially there lap 1, turn 1, where you got involved in that, but it looks like that car is back to full health.
It feels like it's back to full health. We finally made our way back up here and having a good time getting back up here.
You took over the lead there in about lap 63. You've since led 4 of those laps. You kind of been sleeping back there outside the top 5 to start this thing, and with that damage now repaired, do you think you have race winning speed here in this 00?
I think we got the speed. We'll see if we can manage the tires here and play that game too. So see how it ends here. Hope it goes green.
Well, Ronnie, while we got you up in the booth, anybody you'd like to shout out?
V-Speed and QSR and Venom Motorsports and good old Green Top up here. We're getting a little TV time tonight.
Appreciate your time, Ronnie. Good luck.
Thank you, brother.
And a Motorsports driver, Ronnie Joyner, in the 00, getting ready to go back green. Be the 6th time today that we'll have to throw the green flag. 22. Alan Dobbs on pit road again here, trying to get this car repaired. Heavy front-end damage, as you can see there. That car trying to stay on the lead lap, but it looks like he's probably going to go a lap down. And that is your points leader coming into tonight in a situation at Chicagoland. Joyner, Stewart, Autry, Allen, and Ruck Regal for that top 5. We'll set to double up here. Looks like a little bit of fuel save back there for the 13, so probably going to have to make it one more stop here. We will be a little bit short as it's about 50 laps here to the end of this race. Unfortunately, we're running out of cars. We're down to 13, and about 12 of those have some form of damage. This car out of the way. Ronnie Joyner into turn 1. On the inside. Great matching start there for Stewart and Autry. Autry going to get a big run here on the exit of turn 2. Nobody losing the back end. Everyone stays pretty much single file. You have the 33 of Ruck Regal back here. Almost contact with the 85 into the entry at turn 3. But Walker going to get by and take that 5th position away from Ruck Regal. Joyner has a challenge on the outside for Autry. Closes the door into the entry at turn 1. And there's Quentin Stewart down on the bottom. Walker almost gets into the back of Brent Allen. Loose for the 2 of Autry off of turn 2. And he'll go back to 3rd almost. Gonna hold on to it. I think Quentin Stewart cut him a break there out of the exit 2. No more brakes being cut here though through the tri-oval. Stewart gonna go to the inside into the entry of 1. Can he slide up in front of the 2 car? No, he cannot. side, first through fourth. Autry on the high line. The 85 of Walker almost across the nose of Stewart. Gonna hold on to it, continuing on here. Gonna be careful not to hit that apron. Stewart's gonna fall back to fourth now. Ronnie Joyner hasn't been challenged just yet for this lead. The 85 of Wyatt Walker has some laps led. The 2 of Tyler Autry has laps led. Quentin Stewart, Ronnie Joyner, Daniel Molnex dominated the first stage of this race. So many different cars have been up the front here tonight. And I haven't really picked anyone out that I could say is a definite gonna win this thing. It seems like different portions of the run, different cars have the speed to take this checkered flag tonight. So with this top 5 about a second apart here, half a second back to Quentin Stewart in the top 4. Yet to see the tire fall off start to become a factor. We're kind of hitting that window where the high line starts to prevail. The situation has not changed here for the top 5. We're riding around here with Dobbs, who's got heavy right front damage, just trying to keep this car out here. Still on the lead lap as of right now, but in the 12th position, and he is 24 seconds behind. The leader's coming out of turn 2 now. Dobbs just carrying on, trying to stay on this lead lap. He has a lot of damage to repair, though. Autry challenges for the lead coming out of turn 4. He had it there briefly. They'll look back to the bottom again here at the exit of turn 2. Side by side with Ronnie Joyner down the backstretch. Get to the door, but not enough there through 3. Now opens up the door for second position to change. And there's the 22. They caught up to him very quickly. All within 10 laps there. Wyatt Walker takes over the second position. Just behind this, Waylon Turner in the 30, who went for a loop there through turns 3 and 4. Back up to the 6th position. Daniel Molnex just behind him in 7th. Ace Dillard, the tail end of this top 10. 7 positions gained for the 37 team today. Not a lot going on back here. Pretty quiet for the most part. The battle's heating up for 3rd. Autry very tight out of turn 4. Stewart trying to get around Tyler Autry. Not sure if he can do so. He's been running the bottom line to try to get the momentum off the corner. It's very difficult to do, especially when that car on your outside pinches you on the entry. Looks like this time, though, out of turn 4, he does have enough of that momentum to carry into turn 1 Almost a slider in front of the 2. Not quite clear there. You'll have to try one more time into the entry of 3. Just can't quite clear Autry for that 3rd spot, and Stewart losing ground to Wyatt Walker and Ronnie Joyner by about half a second now. Battle carries on for about 5 laps now. Staying on board with the 24. This, of course, for the 3rd spot. Looks like Stewart a little tight there off the exit of 2. Has to lift out of the throttle. That's going to allow Autry back to the high line. Oh, very, very high line. He washes up the racetrack. Stewart's going to get a run off of 4 here. Just behind them, side by side with Daniel Molnex and Brent Allen. For the top 5, the 38 trying to creep his way back up here. That contact with the 22 earlier in this race. He fell out of the top 5, and this will be the first time today that he gets back up here. Up to 5th now for Molnex. And Stewart got to be getting frustrated here with the 2 car not letting him by. There he gets loose off of the exit. Now they're 3 wide down the backstretch. Daniel Molnex not quite clear, neither is Stewart. Brent Allen now takes him 3 wide. And Stewart did an excellent job in that scenario to get himself out of it. Did exactly what he needed to do to hold on. Got to be getting frustrated though. Might have used up his tires there, just trying to get around the 2 car. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead is spread out to a full second. Wyatt Walker in 2nd position. Looks like an eternity in front of and behind. And you have Molnex trying to get by the 24 of Stewart. Maybe another frustration here. See the 22 of Dobbs go another lap down on the apron. The Halloween-themed M&M's machine trying to pass for 3rd. But you know these tires probably used up a lot. There's about 10 laps that Stewart tried to get by on the inside of Autry. So I think we're calling out some green flag pit stops here. I think we're in a scenario where that is definitely a possibility with about 30 to go. See if we have any takers down pit road this time by. We do not. We have that battle for 3rd still going on. Starting to tighten up here between 6th and 7th position. Waylon Turner is catching up to Tyler Autry. Remember, Autry played that defense on the outside. So he too has used up his stuff. Turner's going to get a run here out of turn 2. Back to the inside, just ahead there for third position. Molnick's not going to be able to get the run. And this is just going to be a matter of who can get on and off pit road as they continue to chase down Wyatt Walker. Less than a second now from second to third. Very loose off of 2 here for Stewart. Now down to 0.8 of a second. Loose on the exit of 2, or off of 4 rather. That'll allow Molnick to the inside. Back to the low line though for the 24. Ronnie Joyner still leading this thing. Here comes Quentin Stewart, Brent Allen down pit road. Tyler Autry also in for service. It's like Bryson Witherspoon, Christian Regal, Wyatt Walker has hit the pit lane. He is now exiting. And Ronnie Joyner continues to stay out. Down and away for the 24. Down and away for the 13. Looks like Brent Allen's going to pick up a spot. Quentin Stewart, mistakes on pit road here. Didn't look like really anything bad. Actually, it looks like Brent Allen took 2 tires here, so it's a short-term gain. He probably won't stand to keep this spot with over 20 laps to go. And Wyatt Walker back here was the first one down pit road to start this cycle of green flag pit stops. Ronnie Joyner and Daniel Molnick, Waylon Turner, all still out on the racetrack. Continuing this cycle of 35 laps on this stint. Really sideways out of 4 for the 00. 2 seconds separate him and the 38. The right time for these two to come down pit road. For every lap that goes by, they are losing ground for these guys behind them. Brent Allen leading around this group of cars, but Wyatt Walker slowly catching up to him here. And if they make any mistakes on pit road, they're definitely going to lose this track position. Turner down pit road. 83 of Mago also in. Molnick is going to take over the lead. Ronnie Joyner down to the pits. Green top 00. Going to hit his stall. Perfectly into 4 tires. Gonna fill up with fuel, try to make it to the end of this thing. 21 laps to go when Daniel Molnick comes back around. He is hitting the pit lane 1 lap later. Your stage winner on board with him. Perfect execution for Ronnie Joyner on pit road, but a little slow in the box. 14.7 on that pit stop. This will hand the lead over to the 85, but we have a battle brewing between Wyatt Walker and Quentin Stewart. Is there going to be enough time for Daniel Molnix to catch back up? I don't think so. I don't think they have enough time. This is going to come down, if we stay green, between Wyatt Walker and Quentin Stewart. We could see another first-time winner, Wyatt Walker. He's been stringing together top 10 finishes, really loose out of turn 2. That's going to allow Stewart to catch up 3/10. Another big run out of turn 4. Looks like Stewart going to get right up on the back bumper into the entry of 1. Walker gets a little loose again here on the exit of 2. Gonna come down to the bottom, try to break that draft. Try to throw Quentin Stewart off. Brent 1.3 seconds back. Ronnie Joyner, he's 3 seconds back. So probably not enough time for Joyner to catch up. We'll have to wait and see. Lap time's pretty even here. Impressive run, though, here for Brent Allen, taking those 2 tires and maintaining this top 3. Another big run out of 4. Stewart to the inside. Walker almost contact. Change for the lead. Lap 104. Stewart almost has him here. They're going to go side by side. But you remember what happened earlier with Stewart. He got side by side and couldn't complete the pass with Autry. It used his stuff up, and these two can ill afford to stay side by side for too long. And that'll allow Joyner and Molnix and everyone behind to catch up. Joyner already gets around Brent Allen, 2 seconds behind. Stewart goes back single file, but if he can find a way around quickly on Walker here, he needs to take the opportunity. Right now, it hasn't presented itself. He's getting back into those side-by-side scenarios. Joyner now 1.6 seconds back. He has really turned up the heat. 3/4 of a second faster. Stewart needs to get by. He's got 6-lap older tires than Ronnie Joyner. Almost contact again down the back stretch. Stewart to the inside. Almost contact with the 85 in the entry of 3. Really tight off. Stewart not able to take over the point. Walker holds his own side by side across the line. Here comes Ronnie Joyner, half a second now. Almost contact again down the back stretch. And 3 wide for the lead. Here comes Ronnie Joyner to take it over. He gets a 2 for 1 through 3 and 4. And he'll take it over on lap 108. Molnix catching up to these drivers as well. About 4 seconds back, but plenty of time to do it. Stewart just trying to clear the 85. He will do so. Finally gets by. Can he run away a little bit from Wyatt Walker? This could be the cushion for a top 3 day for Quentin Stewart. But unfortunately, the side-by-side allowed that 00 to catch up much faster than probably he would have otherwise. Ronnie Joyner, this race stays green. He can run away with it. He pulls out 1.3 seconds with about 10 laps to go. 11 now on the board. The green top 00 has led 37 laps here today. That's been spread around several different cars. 14 laps led for Quentin Stewart. 14 for Wyatt Walker. Daniel Molnex has led 38. Looks like Ronnie Joyner might get the most laps led in the day. He now ties your stage winner for laps led. Molnex can see the 85 of Wyatt Walker for a podium position right ahead of him. 1.1 seconds. About 1.5 to Quentin Stewart. 10 to go. Brent Allen trying to hold on to a top 5 day. Looks like he might do so. Autry back here in 6th. He's about 2/10 faster. At this pace, it would take 10 laps, and I don't think he has enough time to catch up to 5th position. Waylon Turner in 7th. Bryson Witherspoon and Ace Dillard side by side for the 9th spot. The 37 will take it. Bryson Witherspoon trying to lock up the day. They're starting in 12th, the 20 machine. Looking like a top 10 for him. Pass for 3rd. Molnex caught. He passes Wyatt Walker. Out of the high line to chase down Quentin Stewart. Ronnie Joyner is in another time zone, 3 seconds ahead of these two drivers for the 2nd position. Molnex to the inside now for 2nd spot. With that 6 lap advantage on tires. Stewart into the wall. That's not a mistake you want to make here in the closing laps. That can allow Wyatt Walker back into the picture here. They're trying the high line now through 3 and 4 to try to keep the 85 at bay. Looks like he'll do so this time by 5 to go. Across the stripe. Tyler Autry gets passed by Waylon Turner. Change for the 6th position here in the closing laps. The 30 car has a tire advantage on all the cars except for the 2. Ronnie Joyner and Daniel Molnex being on the same tire stint essentially in the 30 here. Waylon Turner shaving down about 3/4 tenths here on Brent Allen. Possible top 5 day here for now. Your 6th place driver with 4 laps to go. Bryson Witherspoon got back around Ace Dillard. Got his way back up to 9th. Ronnie Joyner 3 seconds ahead. Gonna maintain that gap. 3 laps to go. 2 to go now with across the stripe. Ronnie Joyner winless so far. We'll take the white flag. And one last time around here at Chicagoland Speedway. 2 miles to go here, roughly. Daniel Molnex faster, but not enough time. Quentin Stewart looks like he probably is going to hold on to a podium day after some laps led. White flag in the air now for Ronnie Joyner. Green top, 00 out of turn 2. Clean air in front of him. Wind in the sails behind him. And for race number 4, Venom Motorsports is going to get a 1-2 finish. Ronnie Joyner, your winner here tonight. The Dark Ace Digital 180 at Chicagoland. 48 laps led. Had some damage in lap 1. Got it repaired, got himself back into the top 5. And as long as there's 4 tires and an engine on this thing, any one of these guys from Venom Motorsports could find a way to pull off a victory. Post-race interviews with your top 3, those final results. You're watching the Darkest Digital 180 presented here on V-Speed. Quick commercial break while we gather up that information. We'll be back.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your
Back live at Chicagoland, QSR Simulators Chase for the Cup. Season number 3, they've concluded their 120 laps here at Chicagoland, and it was a good one. Daniel Molnex got the stage win. 5 cautions and 10 lead changes. We really had no idea who was going to get that final result and get that victory, but it was Ronnie Joyner from the 7th position to get the most laps led. He will be victorious here tonight in race number 4. Daniel Molnex and Quentin Stewart for that top 3. White Walker, Waylon Turner, Brent Allen, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Tyler Autry, 7th. Ruck Regal's going to get 8th position. Then we go with Ace Dillard and Bryson Witherspoon to round out your top 10. These cars more than a lap down, 1 lap down or more. Steve McGough is going to finish 11th with Brandon Yates in 12th. Alan Dobbs, your points leader coming into tonight. Tough break for him, but still a solid 13th with a very damaged car after starting on the outside of the pole. Chuck Sweeting, early exit to this race, started in 3rd, had problems there on the backstretch, and Unfortunately, that car done for the day. Austin Dowdy, same boat, 87 laps down at 15th. Ethan Wisnowski, an early exit, 95 laps down. Then it's Gerald Sensenbaugh, Trenton Wilkin, Austin Thomas, and Mike Petrin. Mike Petrin electing not the grid here tonight. Then it's Larry Eddy, also not taking the grid to start the day. Well, that brings us down trackside. We're going to pull in some post-race interviews. First driver to catch up to here in the waiting room. We have your third place finisher, Quentin Stewart, here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, Quentin, I know that, it looked like things had changed there about the midway point. I think we had about 50, 60 laps to go, and you were into a scenario where the two lap leaders had taken each other out, and then you found yourself leading this thing. It looked like new competition sprung out of nowhere. Guys that weren't even a factor to start the race started racing you, and I know it looked frustrating for you because you had to pass Autry. It took you probably 10 laps there to get around him, and then Wyatt Walker there on that last run. Just run us through how much that probably used up the tires and how frustrated you were getting tonight.
It was incredibly frustrating, and they're both great drivers. So props to them, because you have to be a great driver to be tough to pass. But it's so frustrating, and that it comes down to a strategic thing almost because I think Molnix caught us with about 7 laps to go, and me and Wyatt Walker fought for probably 10 laps there, maybe 15 on that last run. And I'm like, we both have tires left at this point. You can let me go, and we can finish first and second, or second and third, or we can hang out right here and finish third and fourth. So it's frustrating for sure, and that happened on multiple runs tonight. But hey, that's racing. And hey, props to them. At the end of the day, it's on me to make the pass. So props to them for being good drivers today.
Well, Quentin, you come out here with a pretty solid start to this race. I know you started in 4th. You ran in the top 5 pretty much 99% of the time. I don't think any point that 24 car really looked off pace, but you came into tonight with the mindset that this is a multi-groove racetrack. Was there any preferred line that you had, and did the track change, later in the race that took that away from you?
No, it was really interesting. So at the beginning of the race, the top was great. Top was where all the speed was. You could I would run the inside a little bit to save tires, but if I was going to make a pass, I would reach the top every single time. Now you get later in the run and later in the race. I don't know if the track cooled off. I don't have that. I didn't have that data in front of me, but track definitely changed throughout. The inside line became really viable. You saw Joyner and Molnix use that throughout the race. So track changed a lot, and that's props to our race control. That's Ronnie Joyner and Daniel Molnix and Mike Peachin, who do a great job on that every week, setting the track up and making sure everything's right for our races. So yeah, it was really interesting. The track was changing throughout the whole thing, and yeah, the multi-group was awesome. So I had a great time out there.
Well, trying to hook up this 900 plus horsepower onto this asphalt, very difficult, especially on the exits of these corners. You did a phenomenal job. Is there anybody that you'd like to shout out while we have you in the booth?
Yeah, we got to thank our sponsor tonight, Waylon Turner. He did a excellent job in the race. I think he brought home P5, I want to say, after getting in an earlier accident. So I know he had a really solid run, and we always appreciate him. He runs our whole paint division here at QSR, and then has his own Decars Digital thing that he does himself. So those are both awesome spots to go get your paint schemes together. Got to thank our admin team here at QSR. They do a great job every single week. Like I was saying earlier, getting races set up, finding sponsorship, bringing new people into our league. So it all doesn't work without those guys. So huge thanks to them, and as always, huge thanks to VSpeed as well. You guys are a great marketing tool, and you guys do a great job with the broadcast every single week. So,
But thank you for your time, and thank you for the compliments, and shout out to you, Quentin Stewart, for all the things you do here. I know that the QSR Chase for the Cup was kind of your baby there to start this thing all off, and you put it all together. So we appreciate that, and thanks for having us on board. Maybe we'll get to talk to you again here soon.
sir, hopefully, have a good night, Brad.
Third place finisher here tonight, Quentin Stewart in the number 24. He led 14 laps, started in 4th. Podium day for the 24 team. That brings us to our second place finisher, Daniel Molnix. And Daniel, I got to say, everything that could go wrong tonight did. You started out on the pole. You led 38 laps. You won the stage. And then it all fell apart from there.
Yeah, it sure did. and that it was just hard racing. I mean, I went back and watched it. He got loose on the bottom and had to chase it up a little bit. Kind of crowded me in the wall, but it's just hard racing.
Yeah, we saw
But
the exit there on turn 2. Is that the reference there? You also had problems there later in the race where you seemed to be under or behind every single wreck.
oh yeah. That was whenever at that point when I got put in the back. At that point, I said I'm just going to save tires and see who comes back to me and pick them off. And yeah, the deal. Alan he cleared up in front of Waylon, and then Waylon I just came across my nose. But yeah, so I got that fixed. Started in the back again, and just through pit cycle. Luckily it stayed green, and I was able to get up to second. Had I pit a couple laps earlier, I could have been closer to Ronnie, but he would have had the tire advantage. I might have been able to hold him off. I don't know, but I mean, I'll take second.
Yeah, we've seen the scenarios. You guys stayed out like an additional almost 10 laps to some of the guys that started off that pit cycle.
Mhm.
The game plan coming into tonight, you guys knew that you had fast cars, but the scenario there, you have to restart several times from the back of this field. How different is your mindset when you have to pass, 10, 12 cars to get around? And then once you get there, to even compete for the top 3, what's your mindset, with those races, how when they go like that?
It's kind of sounds kind of like a cheesy cliche, but it's a lot easier to win these races from the front than the back. Um, racing with the lead, you can kind of let everybody pit, and that you have the advantage over them because whenever you pit, however many laps later, you'll have that advantage. But um, racing from behind, you have to do something to get a little bit off sequence, and yeah, it's a little different. But at the end of the day, I mean, you still want a tire advantage, and here, I mean, you want to be able to run the high line to take their line away, force them to run the bottom, just clear them on the straight or on the exits. But again, um, started up front, finished near the front, uh, and ran everywhere in between. So all in all, I can't complain. It was a good night.
And finally, I got to ask the question that everybody's wondering about. I know me personally, it's been kind of some fireworks here these past 2 weeks between last week and now tonight. Any bad blood between you and the 22 team?
No, no. Um, with hard racing, I mean, you're gonna they're and contact's inevitable. It's gonna happen. Um, sometimes you got to reach for the elbows out a little bit, but no, there's no bad blood.
Daniel Walnuck, second place here tonight at Chicagoland. Stage winner, led 38 laps. He'll come home P2. Appreciate your time, Daniel.
All right. Thanks, Bradley. See you.
Finally, that brings us to Victory Lane, where we have Ronnie Joyner. The first time win this season. The 00 and the green top machine finds its way back here. After a little hiatus, you had a rough end to last season. Now you find yourself back up on the top spot. How does it feel, Ronnie, to bring it all back together?
It finally feels good to get one of many second places and many beating myself up in the pits or wherever and having to come all the way back up to the field. It feels good to finally seal the deal.
We saw you go out on kind of a different strategy there. You and Daniel Molnix both had stayed out an additional 10 laps. Was that part of the game plan where you were just going to go, 7, 8 laps later than anyone else just to make sure you had that tire advantage?
Lap 20 to go. That's when I wanted to pit, and that's when I did pit. So I knew I could give the car a good hard run if I needed to catch up to them. So that was the strategy behind that.
Last week, you got a third place finish, declined the interview. Were there some frustrations with how the race went last week?
It was on my part. My screen flickered out of full screen while we were slowing down for a yellow, and I just ran through Quentin in the 48 car and was a little embarrassed about that. So.
Well, we know that technical issues do happen, but Ronnie, tonight, everything went perfect. I think even the sun was shining a little bit brighter on that 00 when you had that clean air. You ran away almost a full 3 seconds there to end this thing. Anybody you want to shout out here for tonight's victory?
Yep, thank BC for putting it on, and all the guys at QSR and Venom Motorsports, and great win, and look forward to next week.
Ronnie Joyner victorious here tonight at Chicagoland. Congratulations to you, driver.
All right, Bradley, have a good night. Thank you.
Most laps led for that 00 team as well. And that concludes our coverage here tonight from Chicagoland. If you enjoyed tonight's broadcast, the Dark Ace Digital 180, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You'll never miss a single race. We're going to have flag-to-flag coverage all season long. Schedule coming up next week. We're going to Sonoma for some road course racing. That'll be October 3rd. So make sure to tune in next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the Gen 4 Cup schedule, all the way through to December 17th at the Legacy Charlotte Raceway. For everybody at QSR that makes this possible, all the admin team and the guys behind the scenes here at V-Speed, Adam Baker, Eddie Smith, Morgan Cook, Logan Threlkeld, Christian Hill, I am Bradley Cooper telling you to have a great rest of your week. We'll see you tomorrow night for week number 8. The Track Champion Series presented by VRX. They'll go live at 9 p.m. at Kansas Speedway. Until then, everybody, stay tracking.